All right.
We're
Welcome
back.
Yeah. We're finally back. It's been about a month.
Did you think we quit? Because maybe same.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It's been a crazy summer for us.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. But now that summer's winding down, things are slowing down for us, and we should be able to commit to doing it more full time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. Hopefully you stuck around. We were only 5 episodes deep. Now we're on episode 6.
If you did stick around, like, you're a real one, honestly.
Yeah.
We should come up with a fan name for you.
Some perks. Yeah, so we're wanting to move into a weekly release schedule. We're wanting to drop on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. What do you think?
Honestly, let's go on vibes.
No.
Oh.
That's not how this works.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays?
Yeah.
All right.
Tuesdays
so
it is.
You can check out new episodes each week on Tuesday mornings. We'll have them out in time for your morning commute to work, school, whatever.
Or like if you just want to listen to us, without an obligation, like commute, then that's cool too. Like that's really cool.
We did. So you're getting your wisdom teeth out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So we might not get an episode to you next week.
My bad.
We'll see how Megan's doing on her recovery. But yeah, that's a good segue into who we are. So my name's Jeremiah, if you guys haven't been with us before.
And I'm Megan.
And yeah, this is our anime podcast.
Welcome.
Where we just talk about anime news, what we're watching, and just kind of about anything anime or animated related. I know one of the things we have on here is about like Invincible, which isn't necessarily like a Japanese anime, but it is animated and, popular. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also do just want to put out a disclaimer for any like spoilers, and also tangents, which is mostly my fault.
Yes. As with any anime discussions, we often delve into the realm of spoilers, especially because we do talk about the latest episodes that came out for stuff. So if you haven't watched the latest, One Piece, To Be Hero X, Sakamoto Days,
Lord of Mysteries. Ooh.
Yeah, you might get a spoiler, but it's just gonna be whatever the latest episode is. It's not like we're gonna. I'm up to date on the One Piece manga. I try to not talk about the manga as much, just because not everyone's read it.
Yeah. Neither
of us has read the Lord of Mysteries novels.
Right.
So yeah, we won't talk about spoilers that aren't in the anime, but if you haven't watched the newest episodes, just be warned.
And also, that's kind of on you.
But talking about Lord of Mysteries, what we like to do for each introduction is have a little get to know us kind of piece.
Yeah.
That's anime related. We've talked about favorite characters, anime worlds we want to live in, stuff like that. And this week, because Lord of Mysteries just had episode 5, 6?
I think it was 6.
I think it's been going on for 6 now. We want to talk about Lord of Mysteries for a little bit. So this might be a series we do for introduction for a little bit going forward, because if you've seen Lord of Mysteries, you know that the Beyond Your Pathways, there's about 1,000 of them. And we don't care enough to research each one individually. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at each sequence and figure out what pathway from those sequences that we like the best and would want to take. Mm-hmm. And then maybe once, we've done all the sequences, we can pull our favorites from each one and start to compare those or something.
Yeah.
But, so to start with what path we would take if we were to become a Beyonder in Lord of Mysteries, we're going to start with the Lord of Mysteries sequence. Do you want to explain what Beyonders and Pathways are?
I actually do not.
Do you feel confident?
No, because my other disclaimer is I watch Lord of Mysteries and I have no idea what's happening 100% of the time. It's really awful. Not the show. There's just a lot happening, and I think it's great. And I also love like the steampunkness and magic of the show. I think like there's just so much going on, and I really struggle to keep track of it. So
fair. Yeah, that's totally fine. So in Lord of Mysteries, you guys watch anime, there's a power system.
Oh my gosh, what?
You got your chakra, your cursed energy, all that stuff. So for Lord of Mysteries, it's called pathways and sequences and whatnot. And so they have these things, like these potions that you can take, and there's different pathways that you can take with these potions. We'll kind of talk about those a little bit in a second. But basically, when a person takes a pathway potion, they become what's known as a beyonder, or essentially a person with powers, magic in this world. You start with the sequence 9 potion, and then you work, 8, 7, 6, all the way to 0. And essentially, when you take the sequence 0 potion, you ascend to godhood. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of rules with it, because obviously you can't just go 9 to 8 to 7 to 6, because your body wouldn't handle it, so you got to acclimate and all that stuff. And I believe each pathway is based off of a different deity within this universe. So there's a lot of stuff to there, but that's essentially it. You take the 9 potion, and then that's the pathway you ride to the end. Unless there's some caveats and rules where you get to a certain point, you can jump pathways, but that's too complicated for us to get into now. So as I said, we're going to look at the Lord of Mysteries sequence. So there's quite a few, I think there's like 5 or 6 sequences, and each sequence, and this is for like the standard pathways, and each sequence carries like 3 to 5-ish pathways in them. So in the Lord of Mysteries pathway, we have the sequence 9 Seer, which is what Klein is. So if you've been watching the show, the main character Klein, he's a seer. And then we have Marauder and Apprentice. Mm-hmm.
I think Marauder, that is what that one guy is. If you watch the Lord of Mysteries.
You're talking about the Hangman?
Yeah, the one that shows up in his Grey Frog.
No. I
what?
Do not believe he's a Marauder.
I think he is a Marauder.
No, because he is a sailor.
Oh, he is. I get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, like Marauder. Right. I should be thinking more of like Marauder's Map from Harry Potter and not like Marauder of the Sea.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's two like Marauder. This is my excuse for being stupid, by the way.
Yeah.
There's two definitions.
The one you're thinking of is the sailor.
Okay. My bad.
So we won't talk too much about Seer, because if you've been watching the show, you kind of know what a Seer can do. The Seer is a part of the Fool pathway, so your final sequence you take is you become the Fool, which is probably why Klein takes the tarot card name Fool in the club, the Grey Fog Club. Is there anything we really need to talk about with Seer that you want to talk about? Things you think cooler with the Seer or anything?
I mean, I can appreciate that he doesn't have like a physical third eye on his head.
And like the end of Doctor Strange.
Right, exactly. He can just tap it. I also appreciate that Seers can like do direction finding.
Yeah, like divination and
That's
stuff.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to just like see all of his abilities. Yeah. I feel like, because I think if you just say like, oh, you're a seer, then you're like, they can see into a crystal ball. Yeah, but it's beyond
true.
that,
That's true. We never really get like media where a character with like seer or divination is like a main character.
Right.
Or someone where you're like, whoa.
It's always someone they like show up to see and they're like, can you help us with this?
Yeah, you never really get to see how kind of OP the ability is. And it's not so far. You kind of get a glimpse at like what the seer's pathway can turn into with the clown and stuff. But so far, sequence 9, you don't really get a lot of like physical prowess to help in combat and stuff. So that's kind of a downside, which is why we haven't seen Klein really fight too much. If he has, he's been using Grey Fog, not his actual abilities. So that's a bit of like a downside to me, is he's a very good like support type character, at least at first. The seer kind of develops really well on the pathway, but at first he's very support focused.
Let's be honest, the supportive characters are always everyone's favorites.
Oh, they're everyone's favorites for sure. I don't care though if I'm the main character.
Oh, my bad.
So yeah, that's kind of what holds me back from picking seer. And I'm also like going into this of like, okay, what if we only like, if we're picking between these 3 pathways, we only know the sequence 9 stuff. Obviously if I was like, oh, sequence 5 of this is cool, then that'd sway me. I'm also not studying these up to sequence 5, because one, I don't want to spoil the anime for myself. But also, 2, like, in the show, if you've watched it, there's some where you really don't know what comes later in your pathway.
Right.
Klein took the seer pathway with no idea what the next sequence was.
Right. And then you have, like, what is it, the Demoness one?
Yeah, like the assassin.
That is the assassin pathway. Yeah. That one's insane.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about seer? Do you think it'd be one you'd pick, or?
I would definitely pick seer.
Really?
Why would I pick seer? Because of the direction finding, and I'm very directionally challenged.
All right, so looking at sequence 9, Marauder pathway. This is a part of the error pathway. So Marauders are basically thieves, thugs, just what you would think of with it. Just with a little bit extra. So some of the abilities you would get with this sequence is you get faster hands, so super dexterous with, lock picking, pickpocketing, stuff like that. You get superior observation, so you have better intuition, you can see better, see in the dark a little more. Some physical enhancements, so you get more dexterous, stronger, agile. And then you get this one ability of theft where you can steal easier without the victim knowing you're stealing from them. And then you get some combat proficiency as well. So your Marauders are textbook rogues from D&D, basically. So if you're like the edge core rogue in your party, this is the path you would probably take. I'm not the edge core rogue.
Yeah.
But I've always loved rogues. I always think rogues are so fun to like see and watch, and very like, climbing rooftops and pickpocketing and lockpicks and stuff. It's always cool to see. And so I think I'd pick a Marauder over a seer, probably. The thing is, though, you're not getting like the magic and the powers and stuff that a seer gets, so that kind of stinks.
Yeah. So that's interesting because you hate James Potter.
James Potter is a fake Marauder. He's not we're not getting into that.
I'm so sorry. That is our personal beef.
Was there anything you want to say about the Marauder?
No, except I thought it was the sailor.
What are you looking at?
Well, now I'm like, I need to know who he's meeting in the Grey Fog. Because I'm very confused about, like, literally everything with this show.
Well, we can talk about that later when we talk about Lord of Mysteries.
Okay, back on track.
Does that change it? And then the third one on the Lord of Mysteries sequence is the sequence 9 Apprentice, or the Door pathway. So this says, apprentices pursue the footprints of freedom and are rarely trapped and are very difficult to stop. They're often able to escape from situations and pass through obstacles every time. They have the ability to open things related to doors. So they have the trait with the spirit world where they can basically walk through walls and like doors and stuff like that, even if it's locked. Oh, this article is atrocious. Technical difficulties. Yeah. And then they can open any lock that they need to. So your basic sequence 9 stuff is just like they can walk through walls, kind of limited, and then they can open any doors. I feel like Apprentice would be one that would develop really cool, though.
I feel like it would be. You were like limited ability, but if they can walk through literally any wall.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of goated.
Yeah. I think coming down to it between these three, I would pick Apprentice.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're just naturally like stealthy and dexterous, then the rogue stuff is like you already kind of have some of that.
Yeah.
And then if you have the ability to like go through walls and stuff, that's just adding to your like arsenal of weapons to use.
It said it's mostly used for escapism. And that kind of turned me off because I'm way too anxious to like think clearly for an escape. So again, reinforcing my seer fool route.
So after hearing all of them, you'd probably go seer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Seer would be pretty cool.
Also, like, how cool would it be to just like get your little pendant and drop it and be like,
oh, for the divination stuff?
Yeah.
No, like I said, he's very like, out of these three, the abilities you get off sequence 9 is probably the best and most useful right away.
That's fair.
Because like right away he's getting stuff where like they're using him for finding stuff, They're using him for, like, he can see dreams. Like,
right.
He's got all these crazy things that compared to, like, improved physical abilities or walking through walls. Like, the sequence 9 for the Fool pathway is better out of these 3 for sure. So,
yep.
And then especially knowing, like, what it develops with the clown and stuff will be super cool to see what he does.
Yeah. Especially with the group that he's with, too.
Yeah. I don't think we would see him go sequence 8 within this season. I don't know the pacing of the book, but it just feels like it'd be rushed if he goes sequence 8 already.
Do we know how many episodes it will be?
I don't know. That's a good question. About 13 episodes with 2 bonus episodes.
I wonder what the bonus will be.
I have no idea. So we're already almost halfway done.
Wow. Yeah, then I could see that. I could see him, like, collecting ingredients, but he hasn't even, like, he hasn't started
he doesn't even have the recipe.
To do that?
He doesn't have the recipe.
I thought he did.
He just knows the name of sequence 8.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, he doesn't even have the recipe for it.
Gotcha.
So he's got to find the recipe before he even starts collecting. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder, because we can talk about this more on the topic, but I do wonder if, because the latest episode, he discovered that artifacts can show you recipes. So I wonder if he's going to look for a Fool pathway artifact.
That's fair.
To try and learn a recipe.
No, I'll save that question for later.
So those are the pathways we would take out of the Lord of Mysteries sequence. Like I said, we'll probably keep doing these going forward just because Lord of Mysteries has a lot of pathways, a lot of cool stuff to explore. But yeah, that was our little about us. So sit tight, and we will be right back for some anime news of the week. All right, welcome back to Anime Core for some anime news of the week. We've got 2 favorites off the rip, so I don't know what you want to take, because you like both of these.
Well, okay, I'm wearing Nezuko's kimono today, so
True.
I'll do bullet 3.
All right, so to start off, JJK Season 3, most likely released in 2027. Nothing's confirmed about it yet, but based off of their, like, production schedule and some of the stuff they put online for some of the studio's future projects, it's looking like Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 won't be for another couple years still. We should be getting some more info on that, though, come December, so hopefully we'll get a little bit better of a picture and maybe some better news of the 2026 release date. But, and this one was kind of weird to me, JJK Zero is re-releasing in cinemas October 17th.
So did the Gojo movie perform well? Like, is that kind of the reasoning?
Everything I've heard about, I don't know what they did, like, numbers-wise, but everything I heard about the Gojo movie was that everyone loved it. And it was very well done, so...
I mean, it might also be a reminder, like, because wasn't the season when was the original Season 3 supposed to be coming out?
We had no idea.
We didn't have any idea?
We've been waiting forever.
Because it could be like hey, don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't forget about JJK. Here's a heartbreaking movie you can watch.
Yeah, so kind of weird, but I mean, kind of cool. If you never got to see JJK Zero in theaters, here's your chance.
Are we going to go? If we can. Probably won't be.
It'd be cool to see, but...
Yeah. I love Yuta.
Yeah, it'd be fun to see on, like, the big screen.
Yeah. All right. Well, Demon Slayer producers are cracking down on the movie leakers. So up to 10 years in jail for leaking the movie. We have one scene in the new movie with 5K drawings for a 1-minute sequence. How excited are we for this movie?
I mean, everything I've heard about, it's just absolutely insane.
I think the title, it's Akaza's Return. Yeah. So, I'm doing our best to avoid spoilers. I actually have not gotten anything yet.
I feel like the Japanese community's done really good about keeping it to themselves.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything from anybody.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much that is just the people of Japan wanting to save it for the rest of the world, or if it's like a cultural thing where if you live in Japan, you just don't spoil movies, which America could never. I mean, we saw the new Fantastic Four day it came out last Thursday, and I was scrolling on Insta. We get home from the movie. I'm scrolling on Instagram. This is the day it came out, and it was a post about Fantastic Four, and I was like, oh, like, that's cool. I like read the comments, and right away, huge spoiler for the movie, and I was like, dude, like, this movie came out like a few hours ago, and we're already So I haven't heard anything about the movie except it's been phenomenal.
Here comes our cat.
And people have loved it.
There she is.
It got a 9.3 though on IMDb. Yeah. Mugen Train, for reference, was an 8.2.
Okay, both of these like are kind of insane to me. I don't know. I guess I don't know what I expected. I feel like Akaza's Return, I feel like I'll just rate it a 10 out of 10. But I'm biased.
I feel like 8.2 makes sense for Mugen Train because, like, looking back on it, I mean, first, the whole movie happened on the train. So, like, there wasn't a lot of, like, scene change and, like, stuff like that. And I mean, Akaza's Return, they're in Infinity Castle, probably the whole movie. But Mugen Train, I don't know. 8.2 sounds solid. I'd probably do 8.5, but 8.2 sounds pretty solid.
Okay.
But it's not that that's a bad thing. And then the fact that
I rate movies emotionally.
That's fair. Totally biased.
You already know Akaza's Return will be a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. I'll take the next two.
Okay.
Solo Leveling Ragnarok ended with chapter 357, which is interesting because wasn't the ending of Solo Leveling like half of that?
What do you mean?
Because the real ending of Solo Leveling happened during Ragnarok.
Yeah, I think I saw something that said, like, the first 100 chapters of Ragnarok are technically wrapping up Solo Leveling. Which,
fun fact, okay, I've read the Solo Leveling manhwa. Ragnarok's actually a manhwa I have not read. That's not for you. No. So I think I do need to read it, and I should really finish it. Because I really did like the Solo Leveling manhwa. I liked it more than the anime, I think. But the fights were really, really great in the anime. So.
Well, I mean, speaking of the anime, the Solo Leveling producer said that they want Season 3 for Solo Leveling to be the same level as Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball Z.
Are they, like, speaking in terms of popularity?
Popularity and epicness.
Epicness?
Kind of like, we want it to be in the talks of, like,
that's,
legends.
like, cool and all. But, like, that comes down to the, like, how the manhwa was already written.
Yeah.
I
think if you had, like, animation would be a big part, too. My thing is, the thing that will probably hold Solo Leveling back, that these three, maybe not Dragon Ball as much, but Naruto and One Piece have, that Solo Leveling really doesn't have, is character development. You would think,
Jeremiah, what do you mean?
You would think in a show that's entirely based off of a guy leveling up, getting stronger, and literally developing his character, would have some sort of, like, character development.
Listen, I think in his settings, he probably has a personality on-off switch. And, like, is that really on him, or, like, is it the system?
I don't know, but it's... And then, I mean, if you guys have watched before, you've heard this rant from me before, but you can't... to have the one episode where we actually start to see, like, Jinwoo's character developed and be complex and stuff like that, to be hated on as much as it was, it's like, oh, yeah, honey, you're not reaching the level of epic animes where, like, that, like, there was, for Naruto, after the Dry the Gallant episode where he fights Pain, there's a good, like, the episode after that, like, there's a good, like, 15, 18 minutes where Naruto is just sitting on a bench with a popsicle crying.
And you're also just like, oh my gosh.
Like, and that's basically what happens in the Jinwoo episode with his mom.
Yeah.
Just scaled down a ton because it wasn't even that part, like, big of the episode. But it's like, I don't think people who are, like, diehard Solo Leveling fans, which I don't know if there are any, but if, you know, anyone that is like, oh, we could be the level of Naruto and stuff like that, I don't think they ever could have handled Naruto.
No.
When it, like, first came out, where it's just like...
If you can't handle Naruto at its worst...
But it's like there's episodes in Naruto where it's like slow and like, dude, One Piece. There's episodes of One Piece where nothing's happening.
Right.
And it's like sometimes it doesn't, like One Piece is kind of known for poor pacing at times where it doesn't add anything to the story. But there's also times where it's like this character is going through a lot. We're not about to just cut this scene out or short because people are going to get bored watching them be sad. So,
since I read the manhwa and finished it, season 2 finished with the Chimera Ant arc. And you're telling me that season 3 needs to be on the level of epicness of Naruto? Like, I don't know, with like the arcs coming up, like,
could it be that they're introducing more players and stuff?
They definitely, like, players in terms of Genu, or like players in terms of like the amount of characters.
What are they called? What are the players called? They have a name. Users or whatever.
I don't recall them.
Big pimpins.
Oh, okay. So, no, they're not introducing more players. They are introducing, like, more characters and, like, kind of expanding the world of hunters. So, you see a little bit of more of the American Guild. Yeah, and then you see, like, national hunters. And then I think you do end up starting to learn more about the dungeons themselves. But Chimera Ant, like, it was epic.
Yeah, if you didn't hit that level with Chimera Ant, I don't know if you're going to hit that level.
Yeah.
Until maybe the finale when, like, everything happens. But even then, like...
I think Chimera Ant is the best arc in solo leveling. Yeah. I really do. And I do think it is interesting and different and everything when they start revealing stuff. I think that's really great. Fight epicness, though, I'm almost like,
my issue with solo leveling and talking about like revealing stuff and the mysteries and building up stuff is they've really done nothing to build up anything. Like we saw, I don't know if it's confirmed in the anime, but we saw the guy. Do we know? We might know. We saw the guy that like they found in the portal or in the dungeon, and they're like, "Whoa, who's this guy?" So you're like, "Oh, okay, this is intriguing." And then,
well, we see monsters glitch.
We've seen monsters glitch.
We also know that they're hearing voices in their heads saying, "Kill the humans."
So we got 3 big things.
So
we've got 3 big things that are like, "Ooh, what's happening? Ooh, some mysteries. Ooh, there's something." Across 2 seasons. Like, and then I guess you could say even like the very first, the beginning of the show where they deal with the god statue and all that, you could be like, ooh, but this could be, you know. But it's like, I just feel like when you watch a lot of anime, like you think Lord of Mysteries, right? Where there's this overarching mystery that they're trying to solve and figure out and stuff. And in each episode, there's a little crumb or a little Easter egg where you're like, ooh, to get you excited for next week's episode and to build up, you know, the climax of when they finally reveal stuff. And I just feel like solo leveling hasn't focused on the mysteries as much as it has just been like, here's a dungeon, go kill the monsters.
Yeah.
Gene was stronger.
I do think, like, I don't know, after reading the manhwa, that to me is not an issue. Like, to me, knowing what we know from the anime, they have been building toward that this whole time. And also, Chimera Ant, I think was like chapter, I think it was in the 120s. I want to say it was in like, oh, hang on. I do need to look this up so I'm not wrong about this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, because I think we're, 30-ish episodes into solo leveling, maybe even more. And it just feels like there's this huge mystery of, okay, what the heck is up with Jinwoo and his abilities, right?
Right.
And I just feel like that's never discussed or touched on or focused. Like, if I'm Jinwoo, I'm like, okay, what is going on with this? And, like, everything Jinwoo's learned with, like, the monsters glitching or the monsters hearing voices have been just because, like, it's passively been introduced to him and not him actively wanting to learn more about anything.
Yeah.
And you could be like, oh, he was busy healing his mom. He did that in, like fairly quickly. For someone who, they were like, this is my life's goal, they solved it fairly quickly into the anime. So, brother, you had plenty of time after that to start trying to figure out what is going on with you.
This is also the same man that invested nothing in intelligence.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it is. It's because he has no intelligence points. He has no idea what he's... Yeah.
So the Jeju Island raid arc was chapter 90 to 107. So I do feel like it is like the halfway point, and like the halfway like...
How are you halfway and no one's talked about anything?
Let me look. Total chapters.
I do think Jeju's so pretty like close to the middle.
I'm pretty sure 179 chapters. So we're farther.
70 chapters left.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah, I'm sorry, Solo Leveling. You're not reaching those ranks.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
I'm so sorry.
But what I will say, like, Chimera Ant was great.
Yeah, for Jeju to be your big, like, halfway climax and, like, a huge part of the show, it honestly feels more underwhelming than it was when you put it in that perspective.
Yeah.
Of being, like, that'd be, like, the Pain Assault arc. Just being, like, mid almost. You know? If you're like, okay, we're halfway through Shippuden.
Yeah.
This Pain fella, like, yeah, Naruto beat him in one episode, so
yeah,
that kind of sucked.
Well, I guess knowing that too is like they basically did what? About 50, 60 chapters per season. So do we only get one more solo leveling?
That might be why they're taking so long to do it. Yeah.
So there's that. But I will say, like, after Chimera Ant, I feel like you start to learn so much more about the dungeons.
That's cool.
And so much more gets to be revealed. So I guess what I'm saying is I feel like Chimera Ant off the board. We checked that off.
Yeah, they can.
We don't need to focus on it anymore. We know how strong these dungeons are, and now you're like, where are these dungeons coming from?
I can see that. My only issue is like Jinwoo was never worried about Jeju, so this boy had plenty of time on his hands to start figuring out stuff, and he just wasted time. So weak main character. Moving on. One Punch Man Season 3 trailer, August 23rd. We are so back. In a little bit. It'll be some time before it comes out, I think. But wait, I think it comes out October, maybe.
Are you excited?
For One Punch Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's been like a decade.
Really? Wait, I don't think... Did you watch One Punch Man?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
One Punch Man was like one of my like OGs. I want to say One Punch Man might have been my first like one of my first branching off anime.
That's cool.
Where I was like, Naruto's pretty cool. Maybe I like this anime stuff. And I watched One Punch Man, and I was like, what is this? And
I do think it's wild that you started with Naruto as your first anime.
I grew up on Naruto, though.
Right?
I love ninjas. I love ninjas growing up.
That's fair. Because mine was very much like an ease, like a little lazy river.
I feel like if you're not just easing into anime, and if you like grow up on anime, you had... I've said this before, like the first kind of big 5-6-ish anime really just cornered the market when you had One Piece had pirates, Bleach had like samurai and like ghosts kind of stuff, Naruto obviously had ninjas, Dragon Ball Z was like martial arts, and then weirdly like a lot of sci-fi stuff. Like Goku's an alien. Like
oh, you keep saying that, like, but it has not stuck in my mind.
Dragon Ball Z's heavy sci-fi. And then you have like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, where it's like collecting stuff, battling, using the stuff you collect, card games that we typically played growing up. And so typically growing up, if you had a niche, you know, I like ninjas. Naruto was on. Here's a cool show about... So it was easier to kind of get into it as a kid because you had these niches and you had these... Nowadays it's like, I like firefighters. Let me watch Fire Force. Like nowadays it's like you watch an anime... because it's big, or you like the studio, or it seems interesting, but it's not because it's like your niche. Like I don't like JJK.
That's fair.
No kid is like I want to watch JJK.
No kid probably should be watching
JJK.
So you're saying like for me, as a weird 12-year-old, like they wouldn't have had like a magic anime.
What would that be?
Because I'm like, oh, now they have Wand and Wistoria, which the main character carries a sword, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I guess magic kind of fantasy was fairly open for anime back then.
But I feel like now you're kind of getting more and more, especially with like Freyren. Freyren, I feel like is cornering the market for that
They're making up for their lack of fantasy back then. Yeah, that's true. And that's probably why anime was very much boy-coded back then.
Yeah, I could see that.
Ninjas and samurai and pirates.
I mean, like, girls can like that stuff too, Jeremiah.
100%. But when you're growing up, especially like early 2000s, you're like, no one's telling a girl, like, yeah, watch this martial arts anime where they fight aliens. Like, no girl was, told they were like into fantasy and stuff like that. And so I do wonder if there was a dominant fantasy anime back then, how that would shift the kind of like landscape today. If it would have been easier if anime might have been bigger because people could have got into it easier. Yeah. That is interesting. So yeah, One Punch Man. I'm excited because it's been a hot minute.
Are you going to rewatch it?
I need to rewatch it because it's been so long. Yeah. I'll probably watch it with you or Cullen because he loves One Punch Man. Oh. One Piece is close to becoming the most sold comic book of all time. It just passed Batman not too long ago, and now it's just like 22 million copies away from beating Superman for the most published or most sold of all time.
And tell the folks at home when Superman was published.
Oh, Superman was back in like the 60s, and like One Piece was like 97, I think. Which, if you guys want to feel bad today, Oda was like early 20s when he released One Piece. This man is like... Yeah. I thought this boy was like late 80s now. I thought we were like, all right, let's wrap up One Piece because you might be dying soon. No, he's in his like 50s.
Yeah, we're feeling a little unaccomplished in our lives currently.
This dude found like the magic cash cow in his early 20s and has been riding the wave ever since.
So if you want to like improve our mental health, please like, comment, subscribe.
Good little plug. And I do think that Oda said that One Piece will be done in 3 years. Okay. I think he said in an interview One Piece has like 3 years left. What's crazy about this statistic, though, is this includes all the like Superman crossovers. So any comic that Superman is in counts as a copy sold of a Superman comic. One Piece only has just One Piece. Right. They have like the Ace side story, which probably counts because that's under the One Piece name. But like for the most part, One Piece only has its story, while Superman has been in how many crossovers and stuff like that. Right. And so, yeah, it's insane. There's so much you could, like, I could talk about it because there's so much you could like dissect and study, and it's just so interesting though to see a manga dominating the world of comics like that.
Sakamoto Days is the most watched anime, beating Solo Leveling and Don 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 from January to June on Netflix anime list.
That's the caveat. It's on Netflix's
on
list.
Netflix.
So it's not kind of like Crunchyroll stuff.
Take that as you will. However, I love that for Sakamoto Days because I will stand by Sakamoto Days.
I do think this is interesting that because it's on Netflix's, because typically if you're watching anime on Netflix, you might be more of a casual anime watcher where you're like, that's fair. I'll check out this kind of thing.
And Sakamoto Days is pretty easy to get into.
Right, but Solo Leveling and Don 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 had way more hype. So I feel like if you're a casual watcher, you'll watch the stuff that everyone's talking about. Right. Don Don Don, honestly, is hard to get into. If it's not for you, it's hard to get into. There's a lot of just weird stuff in it. It's weirdly like sexual at times, which a lot of people have been like super uncomfortable about. So Don 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 is very like niche heavy. I feel like if you like it, you like it, but if you don't, it's gonna be tough. Solo Leveling, I think for a lot of people might just lack some sort of like meat to it. I think that's so valid. You know, but it's not like Sakamoto Days has like a crazy complex story either.
Whatever.
But it is cool.
It really doesn't.
Do you think it's the Matt Mercer effect?
Do I think it's the Matt Mercer effect? That's interesting. I guess like I need to better understand the cult following of Matt Mercer.
Yeah, Matt Mercer's the lead voice of Sakamoto Days.
Right? Because like I understand the cult following of Critical Role. Plug for Mighty Nine that's coming out as well. But I don't know like as just Matt Mercer, like I guess I don't know if people like are like, what's Matt Mercer in?
I feel like it was bigger hype like a few years ago. I feel like now Matt Mercer's just like Matt Mercer, and he's still big and doing stuff, obviously, but I feel like Matt Mercer was huge, especially when Critical Role was like really doing stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It is cool that Sakamoto Days is doing that. The My Hero Academia voice actors have been passing out while recording scenes for the final season because they've been getting way too intense in the studio.
Oh my gosh. Wait, is it because of like work hours or like is it just that emotional?
I don't know. I wonder if it is just like there's a scene where they're just screaming really hard and they're just like going unconscious because they're just screaming too much.
Yeah.
No idea. I don't know. I've been avoiding anything about the manga for this final arc because I just want to see it happen on screen. So I don't really know what's going to happen that could cause people to be that intense in the studio.
Yeah.
I was at Fan Expo over in Denver a month or so ago.
3 weeks ago now?
Yeah, it was a bit ago. Got to see some My Hero panels, which is cool. And they're talking about the upcoming season. And I think someone mentioned that, like, Bakugo's character, like, kicks a baby or something.
Oh.
So, it'll be an interesting season, that's for sure. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Invincible. Not really anime, but it's animated and people love it. So, we'll give you some news. Invincible Season 4 will release before the end of 2026. I don't think we have an official date, but you know it's coming in 2026. On that note, Season 5 is already in production with voice recordings done. Like, they are pumping this show
That's
out.
great.
Amazon knows what people are wanting to watch, and they're putting time into it.
Not to, like Amazon, but here we are.
Not plugging for Amazon, but
yeah.
Good for them.
I am excited about this next piece of news. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint anime info is coming on August 23. Now, I started the manhwa, and I did not continue it. I need to. I really do. But I'm excited for it as an anime because I think for me, everything that's happening will come across better as a show for like me personally to digest. And so I'm really, really excited that it's getting an anime. I also know there's like fans didn't love the live action.
Live action.
Because I think they replaced the swords that they had with guns.
Weird.
So I'm excited that it's getting an anime. I think it will be so great. I think it will like take off. I really, really do. And I hope it does because there's a lot of chapters to work on. So good stuff.
Yeah. The Chainsaw Man Season 2 announcement will be in the Reze Movies post-credits. So if you want to see the movie, make sure you stick around post-credits to get some info on when Season 2 will be. I believe the movie's late October. I don't know if that's like the global release or the Japanese release. So, but yep, if you're looking for Season 2 info, it'll be in the movie's post-credits. You can handle these next few.
Okay. The Detective is Already Dead Season 2 airs in 2026, which is 5 years after Season 1,
And you started
which I actually didn't know. I did start it,
Okay.
yes. And I do want to continue it because I think it'll be good. But
You were liking it.
I was liking it. Yeah, it was very much like Sherlock Holmes coded. So I do need to continue it. And then, very, very excited about this one. Spy Family Season 3 comes back in October. I'm so excited for it. I really am. I did see the trailer online the other day. And someone had commented, or maybe it was on the reel, that the Season 3 intro doesn't have Lloyd in it as much because it's from his point of view. And everyone was like, shoot, like I forgot the spy part of Spy Family. Like he is the main character. And so I think we're getting his backstory, which is incredibly tragic, naturally.
Cool.
Because I think his backstory is, I want to say it's like during the war that like separates East from West.
Yeah.
So you get to see that. But yeah, that makes the intro so much more cuter because like Anya's like doing her thing and like yours like being cute and stuff. So I'm so excited for Season 3.
That's weird to me that they only have 2 seasons in a movie out. Like it feels like there's so much Spy Family stuff I've seen.
I need to catch up on the manga. I'm very behind.
The Freyrin manga returns after a 6-month hiatus. I don't know if it was planned to return at this point or if the hype behind season 1 was big. But good news for Freyrin fans. If you're waiting on your fix for the next season, just go read the manga and be a real fan.
What are you saying? We need to continue the anime, Jeremiah. We're only like 4 episodes
I'm
in.
not a real fan.
Oh my god.
Vinland Saga has ended after 20 years. That's weird. Like, I never got into Vinland Saga, like the manga or anything. Mm-hmm. I've heard it's phenomenal and it's on my list. But that's just weird to know, like, it's done. Because it's one that, like, I've always heard about and you always see updates about and stuff. So to know that, like, Vinland Saga is just...
Yeah.
It's kind of sad because I feel like we're seeing a lot of these, like, finishing up where you're just like, dang, dude. Like,
which is also, like...
It's exciting, though.
Exciting, yeah. I also, as a side note, this is another tangent. I think one of these times during our intro, we need to go through these mysterious lists that we keep talking about.
We have the poster back
but, like, are on paper, so we can say, like, here's what we actually need to watch.
No, that would take way too long. And
what do you mean? What do you mean?
And then, our final bit of news is Kaiju number 8 manga ended. That feels weird to me. I feel like it's just now getting steam.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, how many chapters they had, but the manga's over. So hopefully that means the studio can just, like, focus on the anime and just, like, pump out the episodes since it's complete and they don't have to wait on any manga chapters.
Yeah, Kaiju number 8 is another one that's on this ambiguous list that we keep talking about.
But that is your weekly anime news. Sit tight, and we'll be back to talk about the weekly anime that we watched.
You're my little soda pop.
Okay. All right, we're back for our weekly anime. We've got a lot. It's summer anime has been going, so all the anime are going at once now. Kicking off with One Piece, we have fully finished Kuma's backstory. And we're back in the present where you forgot how chaotic it was and now you're reminded how chaotic it is. The issue with One Piece's, like, post-flashback episode, like the first one when they come back, is it's very much like... Because the flashbacks take, like, a good amount of time that you come back and then it's like, all right, here's everything that was happening before the flashback. And so most of the episode is the show reminding you, like, oh, I did forget that Bonnie was being held by the Elder, and I did forget that this was going on, and that Luffy was unconscious, and, like, all this stuff. And then, like, the last, like, 5-10 minutes, maybe not even 10 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the episode is when it's like, and then now we can move forward with the story. So then, like, you kind of watch this episode, and you're like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. And then something happens, you're like, whoa, okay, now we're moving. And then the credits roll, and you're like, cool. So I've also read the manga, like I said, and I know what's about to come up in this fight between Bonnie and the Elder. And so, like, I know that it's going to be super sick to watch, and I'm excited, and I just don't want to wait anymore. But it was a good episode, and the flashback was phenomenal. I mean, it was probably the most emotional, depressing flashback that is... I mean, everyone knows Kuma's story is the most depressing. But the episode last week where we got Kuma's point of view across kind of like what we've seen was really cool to just see, like, what Kuma was thinking. Because he was so mysterious when we first met him and saw him throughout One Piece. And so to get his side of this story was really fun.
Yeah.
But it's tough. One Piece, the manga's on a bi-weekly release schedule now. So One Piece stuff is like, One Piece fans are really, like, gritting our teeth and, like, squeezing our fists as we're slowly getting teased with, like, because everything's building up. So it's like, ooh, this is happening. And then you have to wait 2 weeks before you can see what comes out of that. So
yeah,
it's been tough.
I guess I'm sorry for you. But I'm happy for Oda. Like, boundaries.
No.
Oh, my bad. I finished Apothecary Diaries Season 2. Screaming, crying, throwing up over here. We got some really good Jinchi Mao Mao content. This might be controversial. I have not read the light novels. I want to. I really do. I don't know how I feel about, like, them as a romantic relationship. I think it ends up that way in the light novels. But, yeah. So we get teased a little bit at the very end of season 2. We get teased for that a little bit. But one of the biggest reveals was that Laolun, who was a former consort to the emperor, and also posed as a servant girl, was Mao Mao's friend, but was also part of the clan that was revolting against the empire. And she, when Jinshi and his soldiers stormed their stronghold to, you know, like, tame the revolution that's happening and, like, also get Mao Mao back, she ends up poisoning 5 kids, and she ends up getting shot and falls over the balcony. And so you're like, she's dead, and also so are the kids. Well, it turns out that the kids are alive. They actually took, like, basically it's like the Drought of Living Death from Harry Potter, where, like, they look dead but aren't dead. And this was introduced at the end of season 1. And Mao Mao's obsessed with it because she's like, oh my gosh, it's a new potion that I don't know how to make. And you can, like, basically cheat death. So the kids come back to life, which is super, super great. Love that. Kind of redeems Laolin a little bit. And then you also find out that she is in fact still alive. And what stopped the bullet was Jinshi's hairpin that he originally gave Mao Mao. Classic. And she ends up selling it. The
hairpin?
Yeah, I know.
She sells the hairpin?
I was actually kind of sad because I was like, dang, I really wish Mao Mao still had it. But then she goes off and has a new identity and, like, leaves the empire. So it was like, I think, like, had the kids died, I would have felt differently. But now I'm like, you know what? She honestly deserves a vacation. Like, she got stuck with a terrible family and, like, terrible situation. The only other reason I'm also sad is because she's leaving her half-sister behind, who is also, like, I want to say she's the half-sister. God, the family lines get so blurred in Apothecary Diaries when it comes to, like, the Emperor's line. I think she is Jinshi's cousin. So she ends up going to, like, live with Jinshi's mom, which is chill, and also very chill of Jinshi's mom. So, love that. But all in all, it wraps up in, like, a nice, tidy little bow. So I'm really, again, have not read the light novels, but very excited for the next season. Because this season, compared to season 1, was a lot more epic. Like, you actually got, like, fights. You had Jinshi in his armor. You had, like, there's always political plots, but a very big political plot happening behind the scenes. So it'll be interesting because I feel like it's like you wipe the slate clean. Because season 1 also set up for season 2. And so it'll be interesting to see what continues happening. So.
Nice.
Very excited. Yeah. Let me catch my breath.
We can talk about 2 Beer Rocks first.
No.
You okay?
No.
Okay.
Because I also watch Gorilla God's Go-To Girl.
Because I forced you.
Because I love a good, like, dare I say, cringy Academy anime. I'm a sucker for them. Like, truly. And I think that this one fits that category. I think I would have liked the manga more, but Gorilla God's Go-To Girl was fun. And so basically what happens is everyone in this world has a god that chooses him. And our main character gets chosen by the Gorilla God. So she has, like, phenomenal strength and every, like, traits that a gorilla would have. And so she gets picked to join the Junior Knights and excels, and also happens to, like, fall in love with the commander, who I do think it's a little comical that he gets the commander. They're like, he's, like, top of his class, the first to ever do this, da-da-da-da-da. He gets chosen by the Squirrel God. And he's, like, they, like, have a competition with, like, the Navy officers and, like, the Junior Knights. And this man does, like, a swimming competition. And I'm like, you guys had no one else to do this? Anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, the animation itself, I think had some work that could be better. But I also think if you're watching animes like this,
you're not looking for epic.
You're not looking for epic animation. So, there's that. I think overall it's a fun anime. What I will be interested to watch moving forward, and this would be kind of a make or break for me for this anime, is whether or not they start diving into like the class divide within this world. So, as I mentioned, like everyone in this world gets chosen by a god, but you could be chosen by like the cockroach god. And then you see like there's a very distinct slum area.
Naturally.
And a wall between like a nicer area.
Yeah.
And so our main villain is from this slum area, but has gotten picked by a good god. And so he actually has a noble adopt him. And so he leaves it behind, and this noble promises like, oh, like your friends will be taken care of. We'll feed them. Spoilers, they were not taken care of. And so that sets him on the path of villainy. So I think I'll be interested to see how much they develop that as like a systematic issue instead of like the romance, you know, and her powers and everything. I think that definitely obviously should still be there, but I really think focusing on the systematic classism that's happening will make like a really good story and a really good commentary.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Yeah, you should watch it.
Yeah. To Be Hero X. The latest episode focused on little Johnny and his backstory.
Can I just say it?
We don't really care about little Johnny.
I don't like little Johnny. No. I don't. Honestly, give me Ghostblade again, because I really liked his story. Although...
Which the last few episodes have been weird. With just Ghostblade's backstory with his daughter and stuff, and how they treated that was strange. The little Johnny episode wasn't bad. We got a really cool connection. I don't know if you guys watched the episode. Great. Spoiler coming up. But we got to see who Ghostblade assassinated at the start of Ghostblade's story turned out to actually be little Johnny's dad. And so that was pretty crazy. What I'm thinking is that Shang, Johnny's dad, fled the commission. That's why they moved out to kind of the middle of nowhere house that no one knew where they were. Probably because they took Big Johnny, the alien, off the ship. I'm guessing the commission was coming after Shang. And so Ghostblade was sent to get rid of Shang, maybe.
Yeah.
Shang also has like a healing power, which feels pretty like powerful and useful. And I can see the commission wanting to abuse that, and Shang's not the type to let that happen. And maybe that's why they had him killed.
Right. We haven't seen like literally any other hero with healing power.
No, yeah, there's been no healing. So it'll be interesting to see like why Ghostblade did it, and also like Ghostblade's interaction. It changes Ghostblade's interactions with little Johnny from the previous episode, because like,
that's true.
He killed his dad. I'm sure Ghostblade knows that he killed his dad. So that's kind of it. Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, it was an episode.
It was okay. I can't believe the Johnnies are like the 4th ranked hero. Yeah. My thing is like. My from what we've seen, maybe there's something that they didn't show yet. Why are the Johnnies ranked when it's literally just like the alien that does everything? AKA Kurama. But it's like Big Johnny's the one that's like strong and has powers. Little Johnny just chills. He's his handler. He's like, vibing. Gives him milk. Yeah, like you're telling me this boy gets like. I mean, like, it's kind of the same thing with Lolly, is, like, it's her suit. I mean, obviously, like, she has, like, the mentality and the emotions and passion behind it, but at the end of the day, like, I guess it's the question of where does your power come from? My annoyance with Lolly's story was just, like, she's so, like, egotistical, full of herself, main character syndrome of, like, no. I know what's right and what I say has to be right kind of thing, to like such a flaw to the point where it's like annoying because she's like, what, 16
Right.
if that, and her dad's like, nah man, this is dangerous, you can't be doing this, and she's like, no, I can do it.
Right.
And then all the stuff with Ghostblade where she's like, you're a pervert and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, which is like fair.
Which is fair. He was, in fact, stalking his daughter.
Yeah.
But also, in all fairness, the man could not speak.
That's my thing. This boy's been cursed with the ability to not speak because of this dumb trust system. And now everyone's going to be like, oh, we forgot that Ghostblade's one thing is he doesn't talk.
Like, give this man a whiteboard.
Yeah. 2B Hero X has been on a weird run.
Yeah. I did like Ghostblade's episodes a lot.
Cool.
And I have become a Ghostblade apologist. Like, I understand he is kind of like a stalker. He is a stalker. Not even kind of. He is a stalker. He's following his daughter around. But I'm also like, he has never interacted with anyone healthily. Yeah. Like, did he love his wife? Yeah, probably. But, like, she was also on her phone the whole time.
I guess it begs the question if powers and even physical abilities and capabilities are altered by the trust system, are personalities altered by the trust system? Where if someone views you as pessimistic and a downer and stuff, are you going to be more like that? We don't know for sure. But
I feel like that's been kind of established with Ghostblade because he was very quiet.
He was quiet. That's because he can't talk.
Yeah, but he could talk.
They saw him as someone that, oh, he's quiet, he never talks. He lost the ability to talk.
Right.
Much like the black dude from way back when they were like, oh, he's strong and stands firm, he can't bend his knees because he never bends the knee.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's not so much personality.
So it wasn't that Ghostblade doesn't... There's a Ghostblade... Because remember, in the episode, Ghostblade was like, I want to talk to her, I want to say something, but I can't. So it's not that Ghostblade doesn't want to talk. It's that Ghostblade physically cannot talk.
But, like, when Lin Ling became nice, did he take on more of Nice's attributes, like, personality-wise?
Yeah. He was more, like,
so I feel like that's more of, like, the confirmation of, like, the trust system does change your personality. Because they fully believed that he was nice. Mm-hmm. Therefore, they trusted him as nice. Therefore, he is nice. It's not confirmed,
but I do think the trust system changes.
Yeah.
Your personality. Which could be why we see people like the one chick that fought Queen go from heroic and proud to the dark side so quickly, because people start to view him as, you know, maybe some people are like, oh, I bet she's jealous, and so then she gets really jealous, and then when fear slips in there, it makes it worse. And so I do wonder if something we'll find out later on is if the trust system does change people's personalities.
Yeah. I think the one interesting thing, too, about Ghostblade's episode, just going back to that, because honestly, I didn't love Little Johnny, and anyway, is we see Ghostblade piece up Disco Ball guy full of fear. Evil Disco Ball. And he absorbs seemingly a droplet of fear.
Yeah.
And so your theory, if you'd like to share with the class.
Well, my theory didn't have to do with the droplet of fear. My theory of why Ghostblade... Because everyone was crying and their emotions were being messed with. But the only one that wasn't was Ghostblade. And so my theory is that the one cure to fear is love. And the name of that episode was something about, like, the cure. And there was no discussion about a cure. So I wonder if... But they showed love overcoming fear. So I wonder if it was hinting at love. I do also wonder, now that we're talking about personalities, if the reason that Ghostblade's like emotions can't be super manipulated by the DJ guy was because trust and whatnot has taken away his emotions. So, like, he can't break down crying because he literally cannot cry because it's Ghostblade.
Right, because he looks at it, he does get a few tears, but he's like, why am I crying? Like, I don't cry.
Yeah.
And then he goes off, which is really cool. I really, like, I want to see more Ghostblade fights.
Ghostblade is sick.
So we'll see in the future, but yeah. I think we'll probably get, another Little Johnny episode? Do we think?
Maybe. I mean, I guess we'd probably see him join the agency and him starting to become a hero, like, post. I guess Vortex. We have to see the Vortex fight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll probably get one more Little Johnny episode, and then the flashback might end at the ship that they're all going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it being too much longer. Lord of Mysteries new episode this week. I will say, if you guys have been holding off because you're not really sure about the sub, it's hard to follow because of the sub. I know we've kind of had issues with that. Episode 1 and 2, I believe, are dubbed now. So, I've been kind of like, I want to get into it, but episode 1 and 2 are dubbed, so you can get started on that.
I'm going to go back and rewatch the dubbed because I have been struggling to follow along. Like, in all honesty, like, there's a lot going on with the world building, the characters themselves, the scenes. So there's just a lot to both, like, read closed captionings for subbed, and then also pay attention to the screen. And honestly, I think Lord of Mysteries will have a phenomenal rewatch value in general. Yeah. So I'm not too upset about, like, I'm going to rewatch it. So...
the latest episode, we learn a little bit more about Professor Azik. This is Klein's professor, who's had look into Horsatis for him. We learn a little bit more about that, too. We think it might be like an ancient civilization from like the first or second epoch.
Related to the Evernight?
The Evernight goddess, yeah.
Okay.
So we're like, ooh, okay, something there. We learn that Mr. Azik is a corpse collector path beyond her, and is basically immortal because of some curse that happened way back in the day.
He also needs a hug.
His story was tragic.
Yeah.
We thought he was going to be a villain because of some of the stuff they're showing before, but I do wonder after that episode if he does join the club, the Grey Fog Club.
Oh, you think the Grey Fog Club?
Yeah, what club do you think? Nighthawks?
Yeah.
No, he's not Nighthawks.
No, okay.
I do
when
think
you said the club, I was thinking the Nighthawks, but okay, I could definitely see the Grey Fog.
Yeah, because as Death, like I was saying, or like Death's Hand or something.
Right.
Because everyone in Grey Fog is named after a tarot card. Fool, Hangman, Mistress of Justice, or whatever. So I could see him because he's very death-themed, easily beat a tarot card for that. So I do wonder if we'll see him get recruited. Yeah. I want to see more with the Grey Fog Club.
Right.
Like, it just seems so interesting, like there's so much there, and we're getting snippets of it.
Right. I feel like, thinking about it back, and take everything that I say about Lord of Mysteries with a grain of salt, because I watch it, I pay attention to it, but I'm also like, hey Jeremiah, what does this mean? Like, please explain it to me. But a lot happened in the episode. So it started with them fighting a wraith at this, like, rundown castle.
Yeah.
And we were like, dang, okay, cool. And then Klein just, like, happened to stare at a full god.
Yeah. Are you needing me to explain everything you're talking about?
No.
Do you need me to explain it?
I'm giving the bullet points. So think of me like your PowerPoint slide, and then you're the speaker.
Did you understand what happened with the seeing the Eternal Sun?
Yeah, he caught on fire.
Do you understand everything else, though?
They caught it in the brooch, and the brooch was used at the castle.
Yeah, so there's the Eternal Sun pendant that they used, because it essentially can, like, kill any wraith within a certain range. And so Klein was wanting to know more about the pendant, so he's holding on to it. He took it up to Grey Fog to, like, analyze it without any interference and stuff from the pendant's, like, magic, like, blocking his seer abilities. And so I believe because he's a seer, it's kind of like in, like, Star Wars, the Force ability, where, like, if you touch something, you can see the memory of someone else that touched it, kind of thing.
I see.
And so he saw the memory of when it was created, where they took a little bit of the Eternal Sun and put it in it, and that's where the power comes from. So he's in this vision, and he's like, oh, what's that? At the Eternal Sun. And then he basically does the same thing he did with the pendant to the Eternal Sun to see where that came from, kind of thing. And that's when he sees the god, the Eternal Sun, S-U-N, so it's literally a giant sun. And Grey Fog protects him from, like, being obliterated, but because he, like, did all this, it, like, unlocked something in his mind for him where he learned to, like, sequence 4 or 5.
It was 4. That I do remember.
Was it 4?
It was 4.
He learned a sequence 4 recipe for a pathway that he doesn't have, mind you. But that's when he also realizes, oh shoot, if I can find artifacts that are tied to pathways, maybe I can learn recipes, and that's what I'm guessing he's going to do for the Sequence 8 recipe that he needs. Because the big thing with Lore of Mysteries is pathways and potions are very hidden. They're a secret. There's a bunch of different organizations. If you love secret organizations, Lore of Mysteries is perfect. And so because these organizations are typically at war with each other, they will hold on to the secret of the different pathways. So Nighthawks that Klein joins, there's 4 pathways he had to choose from. 2 of them were complete pathways, so if he'd chosen those 2, he would have had access to sequence 9 through 0 potions and everything, and he could have just done that. He chose Seer, which they only had the sequence 9 recipe and potion for. So if he's going to get to sequence 8, he's got to either find it or find the organization that has it to get it. So that's my guess, is he'll use the artifacts.
The question I was going to ask at the start of the episode when we were talking about pathways was, do we think he'll actually like use the sequence 4 potion ever? Like, it
depends. There, like I said, there's certain paths that you can jump paths at about the sequence 4 point. There's a lot of like criteria for it. Think of like a video game or like D&D when you're like switching stuff, you know?
D&D is the better analogy for me.
And so you'd have to give up a decent amount. But I mean, this could be like Chekhov's sequence 4 potion recipe.
Is he going to, dare I say, multi-class?
Where he wouldn't multi-class. He would switch pathways to that pathway.
You have to switch pathways?
Think of it like train tracks, where you have to jump to a different track. You can't just be on 2 different tracks.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah. So, and I think it's around sequence 4 or 3 when you hit demigod status and you can switch paths. But there's a bunch of rules, and then you can get like boons from the gods of your pathway where you get different stuff, but we haven't seen any of that yet. There's a lot. But yeah, I can see that though, if he switches up.
Yeah.
Once he gets what he needs to out of the Seer pathway. But it's been super helpful for him and like solving his mystery. So I don't really know if he would switch. Unless the pathway he found is key to him getting home. Because this is an isekai. So this whole time he's like, I'm doing this so I can go home to my world. So maybe that pathway, the god status of that pathway would let him get home. I could see that. I
will say, also disclaimer for Lord of Mysteries, if you've read a manhwa isekai like I have, that's specifically romantic fantasy. This isn't it.
This is not a romantic. This is like the most stand-apart isekai I've ever seen. Like, it is so different from...
You will need to connect the dots.
Yeah, it'll have great rewatch value, though.
It's not like your main female lead got hit by a car
There's nothing
and then
cute about
reincarnated into the villainess of a novel that she stayed up late reading. Yeah. Not that I've ever read like 500 of the same stories like that or anything.
I think like episode 4
and I do it again.
Was like a mirror with like a demon in it that possessed a little girl.
Oh yeah.
And it was horrifying.
That was horrifying. I think that was the one where I was like, wait, this is a horror anime? And you were like,
yeah, it's very much a horror anime.
But like light horror, because I personally don't like horror. No, and it might have something to do with the animation.
It's not so much like jump scares and like, there's really not even like mood setting of like eeriness. It's just like, this thing is freaky.
Those castle ruins, it was like...
Did it really get you in the castle
ruins? It didn't get me, but like as far as like atmospheric for horror, it was like castle ruins. It was like a red glow. It was this like headless knight.
Yeah. It was not scary, though.
It wasn't scary, but, like, the atmosphere? Like, if I were there, I would run away. Probably not, because I get killed by a wraith.
We have a whole episode revolve around a corpse collector pathway. Yeah. You're going to get some freaky stuff, which we definitely did. No, I'm excited to see. I hope Isaac stays a good guy, because I would love to see him fight alongside Klein and them with corpse collector abilities.
This man has also, like, not relived.
He's had a different life.
But he's had a different life. So he basically, like, falls asleep every,
Couple decades.
Wakes up with just a few facts about himself. and then gradually gets his memories of his previous lives. And you, like, see him, like, happy with children and, like, a family. And then he, like, is forced to leave them. I think because of a curse that was referenced during the episode. Yeah. We don't know very much about the curse.
No, the themes of his lives is basically he's got, like, a happy family and stuff, but then he has to abandon them and hurt them. And he's always alone. Yeah, it was very depressing.
Yeah.
For those of you wondering, Corpse Collector Path is kind of like Jinwoo from Solo Leveling, where he collects corpses to fight in like an undead army for him. It looked super sick if you haven't seen the episode. It was so dope.
I will also say, like, I mean, Lord of Mysteries has been touted for animation. I think the one sequence where it got me during this episode was where Isaac was trying to trace where his son's head went. And he did, like, the blood search, and the blood went into the DNA spiral.
That was what got it?
Yeah, it was, like, I think it was cool because it was, like, such a small detail.
It was cool.
So, I think, like, that's why it stood out to me.
There have been so many epic fights and, like, gorgeous, like, magic, and you're, like...
Yeah, because at that point, I didn't have to read closed captioning. For everything else, I was reading closed captioning and catching up from like 5 minutes ago of what was happening.
When he opened the door and all the skulls came out, I was like...
Oh, that was sick. Whoa. Yeah, the visuals were cool.
Yeah, the visuals in the anime are top-notch. Honestly, don't even read turn your subtitles off, just watch it and guess what they're saying. You'll probably... If you do that, you'll probably be closer to understanding it than Megan has been so far.
Okay, that's mean. That's really mean.
Am I wrong?
I'm going to go cry now.
Am I wrong?
No! That's why I'm so depressed. Thank you so much for explaining stuff to me. I think for me, I would, like, if I was reading this as a novel, I'd be like, yeah. I get it. Oh, yeah. I get it so much. But there's so much happening.
Has it surprised you how much I've been into it and understanding it?
I don't know. I feel like...
Because I'm normally not a type that's into, like, fantasy stuff. I like fantasy stuff. But it's never like,
in niche. That sort of realm?
But, like, knowing, like, how much I'm, like, into it and, like, picking up on stuff and whatnot.
I feel like, though... I feel like it's kind of D&D-esque.
That's fair.
In a way. You've also kind of had an interest in Infernal Devices.
I'm like, yeah.
And
a lot of Lord of Mysteries, and I don't even think it's a... subtitle versus dub issue. A lot of Lord of Mysteries is very intuitive, where you'll get like a piece of info in like episode 2, and then like in episode 4 something will happen with no explanation, and you have to be like, oh, because I know this from episode 2, I can infer that this is true, so then that's why this happened. So like it does really good of like setting up the world building is really good because it does a lot of like good explanations without over explaining stuff and allowing you to apply your own like kind of critical thinking to figure it out. Most people don't like that though with anime. Like some people just want to watch anime to watch cool fights, and I get that. And so this is world building that there's layers, a lot of layers to it, into understanding it. And once you understand one thing, you can understand the next, and then just kind of keeps going down like a ladder.
But for me, like watching the sub, I'm focusing on the dialogue so much that I'm missing visual elements. So I think for me, like I'd understand it way more reading the book, and so that's why I'm going to go watch it as dubbed. So
no, the dub. I'm sure the dub will help it a lot. Too.
Yeah. I hope this also spurs people on to, create an Infernal Devices anime. Not that the two are related at all, other than, like, being in the Victorian era.
It'd be crazy if this studio did it, too.
But, like...
This studio's been killing
we need an Infernal Devices anime stat. And I stand by that. Anyway.
Amazing news. We've been thriving because Sakamoto Days is back with part 2.
And so are we.
And we are, too. Sakamoto Days is back for summer for a summer run. I think it's gonna dominate summer anime.
I love Sakamoto Days.
I do think what's gonna hold Lord of Mysteries back compared to this is they marketed Lord of Mysteries as simulcast, where we'd get the dub at the same time.
Oh.
And it didn't do that right away. And a lot of people on like Reddit and like Twitter and stuff are like, wait, I thought Lord of Mysteries was gonna be dubbed right away. So I think a lot of people are kind of getting turned off Lord of Mysteries like that.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because it is such a good anime.
It is, but again, like
Sakamoto Days, you can understand it, you can enjoy it, and there's some great fights.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much easier to digest. So I do wonder if Sakamoto Days will dominate. I haven't heard anything about Dawn to Dawn Season 2 or what people are thinking about it. Because that's out too right now, I think.
What?
No one's talking about it.
What?
Yeah.
But can we go back to Sakamoto Days to talk about how Shin went off? Like, this man can read the subconscious now.
So, Sakamoto Days, it basically picked up where it left off in the first part. There's now 5, maybe 4 serial killers that have been freed by Slur. And
I think 5, but now there's 3.
He's using them to, like, cause trouble and pull out the Order, which is, like, the top assassins. And so you got to see some, like, cool fights between the serial killers and the Order. And the serial killers and, like, Shin and Lu. So that was really cool. The Shin fight was insane.
Can we also just talk about the fact that Lu drank ethanol because her grandpa did, and then she got mafia drunk and just became a BA and, like, took Saw out?
Yeah, and she became, like, hot.
She, like, let down her hair and she's like, "You're in my territory now." And I was like, okay, Lu.
She was very much if you've ever been, like, submissive with, like, a degradation kink, like, being tucked down to, you're gonna freak out over Lu's scenes. No, it was cool. It was cool to see Lu step up and have some cool fights, too, because she's had a few, but she's also been, like, she's the weakest one of the group. It's easy to say that. I mean,
that about my girl.
Shin is clairvoyant, Sakamoto, and then
I forgot his name too.
It's some
Hisuke.
Hisuke.
That man thinks in crayon drawings.
Hisuke is just goated sniper.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous. And so Lu doesn't have anything like that that's super special about her. But when she does drink, she gets really strong. And so it was cool to see her, like, piecing up. What was it, like, Skate or whatever his name was?
Saw.
So his song.
Yep. I think the only thing... I want to see
more of her mafia stuff. I feel like to give her, like,
so
something special, like everyone else has, more mafia stuff. Like her connections, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. But
when we first met her, is that what she was trying to get away from?
No, it was just her family was being, like, killed off.
Oh,
like
that would do it.
Like, was assassinated or something.
Yeah, that would do it. I think my only complaint about the episode is the fact that they did not bring home a cat or a dog. After being in, like, I didn't even know where they were at, like a hardware store, but they were also, like,
it was like the mall,
doing adoption,
like
and they got distracted by puppies, and then Saw came along. So.
What did you think about, what's her name? Is it, like, Orochia?
Oh, like, I envision her as the Maiden of Death. She's the Order lady with the black veil and the huge saw, and she's goated. Like, we get to see her go off against Osaragi, against one of the assassins that has spikes coming out of their body.
Yeah, so we saw Osaragi versus, not Club, it was something weird. They're all weird names. Yeah, we saw her versus the spike chick.
Yeah. I'm excited to get some more Nagamo content.
Your boy Nagamo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Osaragi was fun to watch. I totally forgot about her chainsaw that she used in the first part until she looked it out again. I thought she was going to die in that fight. I'm glad she didn't.
Right.
No, there's some good fights. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it feels like they're building up a lot of stuff. The cliffhanger sucked.
Yep. The minimalist showed up at the Sakamoto store
to threaten the wife.
Yep.
I believe Sakamoto Days new episodes come out on Mondays.
So if we're bawling our eyes out tomorrow, that means the cliffhanger did not end well.
So we record on Sundays, so we'll report on that next Sunday for you guys. But no, I'm excited. I think it was good 2 episodes to bring the show back. And
yeah.
I mean, if it's just gonna be fight scenes every episode, I'm not gonna complain. I think it's gonna be less like, because the first part was very heavy in, like, we're going to the circus, I've got to survive. We're going to the baths, I've got to survive. I think it's very much gonna be like, all right, we're at war, we're gonna fight and focus on that.
Right, because the first half was all build up to Slur and like the plan and everything.
Yeah.
And now the plan is in action.
Yeah. All right, and then so we started this one.
Yeah.
It just ended, I think, like 6 episodes. Kpop's Original Sin. We watched the first episode, and then we haven't watched anything past that. I think it finishes this week with like episode 6, and so our plan is to watch the rest of it, and then next week we'll do a segment review on it for you guys. Mm-hmm. So we probably won't talk too much about it here, just because we want to save that for next week when we talk about the whole show. I do know none of the episodes have been below a 9.0.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just been...
Wow. I think, too, like...
And then we want to say, too, for this one, a little bit of a trigger warning.
That's what I was going to say.
Kpop's Original Sin, I highly recommend it. And you'll get the trigger warning if you start it. It does deal with topics of suicide, self-harm, mm-hmm. abuse.
Bullying.
Yeah, bullying. I think even like a little bit of like sexual like violence as well is alluded.
Yeah. So there's a lot of heavy topics. So just, keep that in mind.
They give you a number to call if you need it.
If you're thinking about watching it, and like do what's best for you.
Yeah.
I would also say.
Yeah. So I don't want to talk about it too much now because there's a lot that happens in even that first episode that like you just need to experience the first time you watch it. So I would recommend for you guys listening at home, go watch Kpop's Original Sin, even at least just the first episode. You've been warned; it's very heavy, and then we'll dive more into it next week when we do our topic on it. But what were your, without going into too much detail of the episode, what were your like first impressions? Did you like it?
I liked it. I really did. Again, like I think it's one of those where it's like look it up, see what it's about, and determine if it's like for you to watch.
Yeah.
And also like if you need anything, like reach out to someone.
Yeah.
There's like resources out there to help. But I think it was good. I think it's an introspective anime where it's like, like how are you treating the people around you? I think, and like how are you also like perceiving the people around you and their pain? Like, are you kind of being perceptive to that? And like, how do you get to the point where you can be a supportive person?
Yeah. I think what was really interesting about it was it's when you typically get anime like this, there's always a parallel between childhood innocence and the dark adult world that surrounds them. Grave of Fireflies comes to mind. Just haunting anime movie. Where you see like, what does it look like for a child to try and maintain their innocence while being surrounded by death and pain and stuff? And I think what's really interesting about Kpop's Original Sin is that the main character, the girl, isn't the one you see this childhood innocence from. It's from Kpop, the alien.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it even harder and more emotional of a watch is because this little girl is having to like explain through Kpop's innocence like stuff that Kpop doesn't understand, and you're just like, this girl should be the one that's shielded from this and that's maintaining her her childlikeness and stuff, but because of what she's going through, she's having to be the adult to Kpop.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that's like right off the rip of the show.
Yeah.
And it just sets the tone for the rest of it, of just how messed up everything is for this little girl.
Yeah.
So is it Sakura? Shizuka? What's her name? Do you remember it?
I don't recall. That's part of the problem.
Shizuka, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we liked it. We're going to finish it. We'll talk about it next week. So if you don't, this is your last chance for spoiler warnings. If you don't want it to be spoiled, you've got a week to watch it.
Yeah. Again, just reiterating, a lot of heavy topics covered. And I think just like, if you're going to watch it, I think be kind to yourself. Be kind to those around you. And once again, there are resources out there.
Yeah, so. All right. That is it for our weekly anime, guys. We need to watch Lazarus. We said we'd watch it.
Oh
we'll watch
gosh.
it for
and
you at
it
some
is
point.
completed. So
Lazarus is done, so we can do a report.
Once again, that is on this list that lives in the abyss.
But moving on to our final topic of the evening, we've got K-pop Demon Hunters. I thought you were going to make a noise there.
My little soda pop.
We'll be talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. It's a little old at this point.
Yeah.
We watched it when it came out. Did you?
We did. And I've seen it 3 times.
And it's still pretty huge, so it's still relevant. Don't add us. Sit tight. We'll be back to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters.
All right. This one's for me. K-pop Demon Hunters. I think, like everyone, we started out saying, oh, K-pop Demon Hunters, like, let's watch it. Ha.
That was a terrible intro. You gotta...
All right. We're back for K-pop Demon Hunters.
There you go. There's a little more energy. That was good.
Okay. Anyway.
You didn't like K-pop Demon Hunters, right?
No, Jeremiah. I loved it. I loved it. Okay, so here's the setting. Let me set the stage for you. We're sitting there on a Sunday night, and we're like, oh, let's watch something. I'm like, oh, K-pop Demon Hunters. Like, let's just watch it. Like, haha. Kicks and giggles, right? Jeremiah's like, I'm going to read my book. It's like 5 minutes in. This man has his book down, and we are sat because this movie is phenomenal. It is so good. Like, it is my new comfort movie.
Is it really?
It's my new comfort movie. I think Howl's Moving Castle is still on top.
You gotta rank them. Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Bride, and K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay. I think Howl's is still my number 1. Really? I love Howl's.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I love Calcifer. I love I've Been Looking for You. Like, swoon.
Did little Megan ever think that Princess Bride would be unseated so easily?
No.
By 2 anime, let alone?
No, she didn't. Princess Bride is still phenomenal. I think it is in a category of its own. It's live action. So, like, although I will say, out of all of them, Princess Bride is absolutely the most quotable.
That's fair. It's also, like, a classic.
It's so good.
Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters was such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I made everyone around me watch it also.
And they've all loved it.
Yes.
Phenomenal soundtrack. I mean, it makes sense. They've worked on it for a
9
decade
years.
or so, yeah.
Yeah.
And a whole movie based around music. Like, you've got to have a good soundtrack or else you just lose right away. So the fact that their soundtrack was phenomenal, I think elevated it so much more. Especially because it is, a movie based on music, and music's going to do a lot of the carrying for you. And I really don't, there was not a single song in that felt unnecessary.
Right.
And wasn't good.
Yeah.
Soda Pop's probably like everyone's least favorite. Maybe not everyone's. I feel like a lot of people like Soda Pop.
Every so often I get in the mood to like listen to Soda Pop.
But even that's not bad. Like even Soda Pop's is.
So like my soul would have been stolen. 100%.
Yeah, it was great. The story was fantastic. The animation felt pretty fresh, like something we haven't really seen.
I mean, let's go back to the story for a little bit because I mean, I feel like it had quite a few different commentaries. So I think first and foremost, the idol industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing people who are literally idolized.
How many like people watching K-pop Demon Hunters do you think were like, oh, this is about us?
Right.
Because like I think the biggest part of K-pop Demon Hunters was like about worshiping musicians and about forcing musicians into like this having to hide themselves kind of thing. I mean, like Rumi's whole thing was hiding her true self.
Yeah.
And she didn't find her like voice and power until She didn't hide herself. And I think a lot of that is because you've talked about K-pop culture before, where fans can get very overprotective and toxic.
Which I do want to just reference that I really wasn't like a K-pop fan before this movie. The reference that I have to K-pop is truly True Beauty, which is behind me on the shelf, which is what everyone's like favorite second male lead. I know that's tragic for some of you guys. If you love True Beauty, they like the second male lead. Yeah. Anyway, that's what he goes through. But I have like, I feel like I've seen a few different comments of like, just like, even just across different manga, but different comments in general, like people are obsessive about K-pop stars.
Well, I think even like you see it in K-pop of who you date is under scrutiny. How you dress, how you like, because K-pop is such a like character persona driven industry where you play a character as a musician, you play a character and people build that up in your head, and if you step outside of that box, it really bothers a lot of people. And especially I feel like if it is showing your imperfections. And I think it's like, it's kind of the funny thing where you could easily do a skit on it where a K-pop singer is like vulnerable and they're like, guys, I need to show my scars. Sometimes I like to have a diet, or like have a normal Coke instead of a diet one, or like something where it's like you can't really show like what you struggle with and like stuff like that. It's got to be very surface level, where it's like, oh, he's just like us and like kind of thing. But if you were ever to be like, hey guys, you know, I get really bad anxiety and kind of have like, you know, bad thoughts sometimes, I feel like that'd almost be too heavy for a lot of K-pop fans. Right. And that's why something like this was cool to see. Yeah. But like going back to my original question, do you think a lot of people watching this were like, oh,
this play's about us?
Yeah, it's this play about us. Do you think it could start conversations that could change the culture? It's a pretty
that's a good question.
Like, stuck in their ways kind of culture of this is how it's done. And
I don't know. I don't think so, honestly. Like, I think, I mean, that's not to say, like, all K-pop fans are bad. I think there's, like, you can be a K-pop fan, and you can have so much fun with it. You can love your favorite group. Yeah. I don't know that it will change the extreme culture.
Do you think it'll help people have a little more empathy for K-pop artists?
That one I don't know, because I don't think it, like, Rumi shows her scars, and the final song, they kind of discuss that. I don't think it's as hard-hitting as it could be or needs to be. So, I don't think so.
And this was already a great movie, would it have been better if Rumi, like, didn't heal or didn't recover? Or if,
that's the cliffhanger?
Like, died is a bit intense. But if Rumi, like... Yeah, like if she didn't win her battle with herself. Like,
that would be interesting if you left it on a cliffhanger. Which, I mean, Kpop Demon Hunter is phenomenal. I don't think it kind of has a cliffhanger. Like, are you like, is Gino coming back? Is he not?
It's not a cliffhanger. That's just like a back door.
But like, I don't think I think it's great as a one-off movie, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I think that's what they were trying to do with it.
But so not so much as like a cliffhanger, but like if Rumi like loses her battle with herself, so either she becomes bad at the end, or she's too weak to help, and it's up to the other two to defeat Gima by themselves, kind of thing. Where it's like they're not a complete trio. It's kind of like there's this void in their group. Like, think of it in the sense of, you know, going back to Takobi's original sin of kind of getting heavy, of if Rumi lost her battle with mental health and, you know, doesn't have to do it in the movie, obviously, it'd be way heavy, but if she took her life, kind of idea where she's not in the group anymore, she's not there to help them, she's kind of just gone, you know. And like I said, she doesn't have to take her life in the movie, that'd be way heavy, but if it's up to these two to go on without her, and it's that feeling of when a friend, you know, is gone or takes their life and having to move forward without them kind of thing, like, do you think it would have been better if it went to that place of Rumi doesn't, Rumi doesn't join the girls again and she just she's alone? It's not a cliffhanger, but they don't reunite.
Think so, because I feel like we got the feeling of aloneness from Rumi throughout the movie. So I don't think so. I think, like, if you're going to make any sort of wave like that, I think it needs to be, like, explicitly, like, oh my gosh, like, what's up with Rumi's, like, demon hand now? And then all the fans are talking about it. And, like...
But I think also, like, I think, like, stuff like depression isn't always...
Right. No, I get that.
And especially, like, you see stuff about depression, and her scars could be it's a great allegory for shame. It also could be about depression as well, where you don't know what people are dealing with. And the whole movie, her friends really are ignoring how Rumi's acting, and she's acting different and strange.
Right.
But, like, they're not really clocking it. And so I think there's room for a lot of really good conversations out of it. I do wonder if it could have benefited a little more from getting a little darker, but
it's a kids movie.
It's a kids movie. It's a great conversation starter. I think it did what it needed to do and did what it wanted to do, and I'm not complaining at all. This is just my thinking of if it did take it a few steps more. Would that have helped the movie? Would it have made it worse? Would it have just not changed anything? Like.
I mean, I think there's a lot about the K-pop industry in general that you can comment on, because you also have, like, the workload of it, because they're learning dances, they are producing songs, they're doing, I think, live streams as well, social media content. I think there's also, like, phone calls to fans that they do as well, along with, like, if they get signed to brand deals, and so there's, like, work on work on work.
I think that's kind of, like, hinted at in the movie when you see, like, the girls' reaction to, like, their couch in couch time, where it's like, you are doing so much that even just time on your couch is a blessing.
And then you have Rumi with, like, what did you do? Like, did you just release the teaser for the song?
And, like, to the point where it's like, just even time on your couch is, like, something that you're lucky to get, let alone going to a spa and stuff. I think overall, like, the biggest theme that you could directly, like, very explicitly realize is, like, the identity and how Rumi struggles with hers. And so I hope they explore that if they do a second one, like, her origin and who her dad is and everything. I know they had pretty solid world building. You know me, as much as I love to, like, learn mysteries and learn, solve stuff, I feel like it benefits from just not really touching on that.
That's fair.
Being like, that's, part of her story, but her dad being a demon isn't who she is, and she's created her own person out of that, and we don't need to know who that is, because regardless of if we know him or not, it's not going to change anything about her.
I mean, on the flip side, though, like,
Jinu's her dad.
Oh my gosh. Never say that ever again. No, on the flip side, like, could that be a different sort of, like, commentary of, like, well, are all demons bad? Like, is this one person that made one mistake, which you could arguably say is Jinu in this context.
I mean, we saw that with Jinu.
Like, are they a bad person? Do they deserve to, like, be a demon? Like,
we saw that with Jinu, I think.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, if we got a second movie and it was, like, her dad shows up, because he's a demon, so he's probably immortal, and she's like, Dad? And, like, a whole thing out of that, it would feel like a Disney sequel, like Cinderella 2, where you're, like, they're throwing in, like, long-lost family members and stuff like that, where you're just like, I don't think I needed this. That's
fair, because she did come to accept herself at the end of the movie and start showing her scars. So.
It would be really hard to do anything sequel, TV show out of this, because you've got a soundtrack that you have to basically improve, which is hard out of this.
Yeah.
A story that, like, they're just going to fight Gima again?
Like, I guess did he get defeated? Do we know? Because she had that big slice up the middle.
He might not be, like, gone for good, but it's like, cool, sequel 2, here's Gima's new plan. And then it's just like, okay, we're just going to have a weekly TV show where Gima's wackiest Dr. Doofenshmirtzenator to try and get free kind of thing, you know? Which, I mean, some people like that, right? But I just don't, looking at it like as a movie, I just think that would cheapen the movie a little bit.
That's fair.
If it became something where it's like, they just keep fighting Gima on his new plans. And it's also like, what are you topping when you have a demon boy band, right? Like, where do you go from that?
That's so true.
Like,
so, speaking of our demon boy band, the most important question of the day is, who is your Saja Boys bias?
You know my Saja Boys bias.
Is it Baby?
It's Baby. I love Baby.
That's so valid.
It was so funny. And then I believe he was the rapper too.
Yeah.
Which I love that. I didn't really know a lot about K-pop culture and music before this. So when he started like rapping and stuff, I was like, "Yo, what? Well, this is K-pop?" I was pleasantly surprised. Which I feel like a lot of non-K-pop people, which is probably why the songs are dominating the billboards right now. Is they're like, "Holy cow, K-pop's actually like kind of cool."
But you have BTS though.
Yeah, but no one. It's like BTS is like Justin Bieber when we were in like junior high school. Whereas like if you listen to it, you're not at least as long at least for like guys.
Oh, okay.
If you're listening to it, you're not telling anybody.
But like, what if you're listening to the Saja Boys? Are you telling people?
And that's the thing is like, I feel like you might have dudes now, like frat guys, who are like, yeah, check out Idol.
It's a banger.
Because Idol's a banger, and like you could play that at the function, right? Like, what can I play at the function? And so I do like. I feel like BTS is kind of the Justin Bieber of like our growing up, where it's like you might listen to it, but you're really not like telling a lot of people.
Yeah.
Unless you've got like a group of friends that listen to that kind of music, which is more common today than back then, right?
Now you have Stray Kids taking over the market as well.
So I do wonder if a lot of people are like, and BTS was never marketed in a way where you saw like hip hop influence in it. I never knew K-pop had rap in it. Until I watched this. And I knew about BTS.
The thing about Kpop Demon Hunters is that it changed my whole entire Instagram algorithm. And so I fell down a huge rabbit hole of K-popstagram. I don't know if that's the actual term. And I learned, I think, what is typical, and this is just based on my Instagram Reels research, is that the youngest member of the group, or like the cutest, or something like that, is typically the rapper.
Okay.
And like... go hard at it.
This makes sense because I think Baby's like the youngest.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and then you have Mira too.
Yeah.
Or not Mira, Zoe.
Yeah.
I like Genu. I think if I'm going to be honest with myself, he's the safe pick. But I'm going to follow up with, I think it's Abby because he does the intro to Your Idol and that freaking choreography. Like, I'll be your sanctuary. Like, okay, Abby. And then he like does this string thing with the hat. Yeah, that got me.
I liked Abby after he stenciled his abs on a piece of paper for someone.
He's such a himbo.
He whipped that out and I was like, all right, this dude's pretty chill.
He's like, that one's always looking at me.
Yeah. No, it was when you had like, it was just such a good story that if I was, as a writer, if I had made this, I'd be like, I feel very good about what I created.
Mm-hmm. As you should.
Don't need anything else, right? Like, you don't need anything else told. People might demand it, but...
Right.
I just don't think you need it. I would love to see, though, these creators go on to do another anime movie in their style. This style, I think, was phenomenal. Their characters were well done. I don't know if it's like got to be music based, but the music that they did, like, I would love if they did another thing, but I think it'd be great. It'd be better if it was a standalone kind of thing.
I think that's valid.
You said before, maybe a TV show or a movie of previous hunters doing their stuff.
Well, in that case, would you do Rumi's mom's backstory?
I don't know. I wouldn't go to like just the last group. I would go like, what did it look like in like the 60s? What did it look like? Where you could really mess around with like music infusion and like influences.
Or like the Hone Moon at its inception.
Yeah, like it'd be really cool to see like, okay, what did the Kpop Demon Hunters look like when they were doing like flapper music? Mm-hmm. What did they look like when they were doing, stuff like that, where like it's just a totally different and new sound. Mm-hmm. And then your soundtrack isn't competing with your previous one.
Right.
as much, because it's like if they do a sequel to this, it's going to be another K-pop soundtrack, and it's now you're comparing songs. If they do something where it's like a different group back then you're like, okay, well, you can't really compare them because it's two different sounds.
Yeah.
So I think if they do another K-pop Demon Hunters project, it should be prequel stuff.
That's fair.
Would be the best option.
So if they did do a sequel, would you want Jinu to come back?
No.
This man's a sword now.
Get him out of here. No, he's not a sword. He's not anything. Jinu's gone. Jinu's dead. Move on.
Oh my gosh.
If you're complaining and need Jinu back, you're part of the problem. And you probably like the Skywalker Saga movie where somehow Sidious is back and everything we had with Darth Vader in the past didn't matter.
You need to calm down. You need to take a breath. Do we need to take 5?
No, it's fine. I'm just sick and tired of excellent writing and excellent characters where we're like their whole like story and linchpin and character transformation and everything that like makes them amazing is their death and their sacrifice. And then for people to be like, oh, but what if we brought them back though? Like, no. Yeah. Let the dead die sometimes and let them stay dead. You know?
Also, Rumi seemed to get over pretty quickly.
Rumi didn't care. I don't know. I'm kind of like hit or miss because if you guys know, there's a deleted scene where her and Jinu go on like a aquarium date or something. Yeah,
and they kiss.
Oh my
gosh. We were robbed of that, but that's fine.
I'm taking it or leave it.
That's fair.
I'm taking it or leave it. We do not need to push kids to trauma bonded relationships.
That's fair. Also, what a great age gap.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna say it.
Twitter would love it.
No, I liked Jinu. I like Jinu and Rumi. Free was a phenomenal song, but if you like take a step back,
I didn't like Free.
You're just like, did I ask?
I don't like Free.
That's fine.
That was Colin's favorite song too.
That's crazy. If you put Jinu in an absolute value like formula. This is how I evaluate things. I'm like, if I think of it in terms of absolute value.
And I'm the neurodivergent one.
Jinu's not, like, great. Like,
no.
He's not a good person.
No.
There is a specific line saying that missing people have tripled since the Saja Boys, like, debut because demons are taking souls because of the Saja Boys. Like, Jinu is causing that.
Yeah.
So the boy may be attractive.
For his selfish gain.
Yes. The boy may have a great singing voice. He may have great chemistry with Rumi. He may have made a hat for the cat that the bird stole. He may have great humor. He may have a great voice.
He may have one of the best entrances we've seen in an anime before.
Yes. He may have all of that. But that does not refute the fact that he did in fact help increase the number of missing people.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Korea.
Yeah.
No, I think like if you take that away from Jinu, then I think you like his sacrifice, then I think you do just reduce him back to what he was before and everything that you're complaining about. Because like, yeah, maybe he didn't know that he could come back and he was like sacrificing with the knowledge that he's gone for good. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter because it's like even just the fact that you're going to bring him back would just solely, it would just take everything away from the sacrifice.
Right.
Because then you can never watch that scene again with the same feeling of, oh, like,
dang,
he did it though. You know, you're like, oh, he's going to be back next movie, you know?
Right.
And like I said with Star Wars, when they're like, somehow Sidious is back. Where it's like, okay, so y'all just disrespected Anakin Skywalker.
Right, his whole sacrifice.
With everything. Yeah, like,
yeah.
Everything you spent like decades building and movies building and comic books building and books building just out the window.
Yeah.
Because somehow Sidious has returned. Like, so yeah, I do think Jinu just needs to stay dead. His story is complete. Like,
it is.
Let a story be finished, kind of thing.
Right, because he gave his soul over to Guma when he betrayed his family, and then he got his soul back.
Yeah.
And gave it to Rumi.
And even if you think too, like, what would he rather like be at peace and resting with his family finally and reunited, or would he want to be back and dating Rumi and making music? probably with his family.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this was the moment. I think the only thing that would have made his death better would have been seeing that moment where he sees
his family
his
of, like,
family
I
again.
forgive you.
Yeah,
type.
something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that would solidify for people to be like, okay, he should stay there. But,
yeah.
Because, like, we didn't really get closure. Like, he just kind of, like, takes the hit and he says something.
Right.
I forget what he even says to Rumi.
I think he's like, you gave me my soul back.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then he's gone.
Yeah.
So we don't really get closure.
And then another banger of a song continues, and you're just like, wait, did my favorite boy band just, like, die?
But also, like, sometimes you just don't get closure.
Yeah.
And you just gotta move on.
Along those same lines, Jinu's entrance, want to call out an Easter egg there, because I did, in fact, watch Marriage Proposal. And his entrance song is the outro to Marriage Proposal.
Not that entrance. I'm talking the first time we see that boy on screen.
Yeah. Oh, not that entrance. You're right. I was thinking his real world entrance. So when Rumi first meets him, the Marriage Proposal outro song plays. And if you did not know, Jinu's voice actor is the male lead in Business Proposal, which is also on Netflix. So go watch it because it's fun. I did, in fact, go back and finish it because of Kpop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
So, and I also read the manhwa.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm not a big K-drama person.
That's okay. I mean, you can start.
No, yeah. His entrance when we first see him on screen.
Yes.
We have a question here. Best song from the movie.
Ooh.
I think that's it. That was like when he comes on screen playing his little guitar. I don't know what exactly it's called.
I think it's is it like a
it's a stringed instrument, and
I can't remember.
he sings, and you're just like, oh, like I got bi panic. I was like, who is this guy? And then like he's sitting here like roasting his boss basically, which is insane for an entrance. Like, I could have gone for a whole... Like, they should have just done a whole 3-minute flashback to just show Gima's story with Jinu singing over it, because, oh my gosh, that was insane.
I've seen so many people that want the full version of that song.
It was so good, dude. I'd have it on repeat.
People are talking about it. And what's also interesting is that is the only song where his voice actor is the singing voice.
Oh, that was his voice actor? Mm-hmm. I thought it was the artist.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, but yeah, so that'd be up there. It's not a complete song, though, so I won't take it. I think my favorite song, one that I would just throw on repeat constantly, would be Golden.
Yeah. That's mine.
Idols is so good.
Idols is so good.
But Golden is just such a, like, road trip scream in your car kind of song.
Like... Girls' Weekend type.
Yeah. And, you know, that's not to say that the other songs aren't good, because all the songs in the movie are fantastic except for Free. You gotta understand, I hate, like, boy-girl romantic duets in movies.
So you're telling me you never watched High School Musical growing up?
That's why I couldn't get into it, because I hated those scenes. That's the part of the movie, typically, where I will go, okay, I have a quick 3-minute pee break now. Because I do not like it. I don't know what it is. It's just this moment where they're singing together, and I'm just like, I'm happy for you guys. This isn't, no, okay. Like, I think the only one where I was, like, maybe tearing up at it a bit was Rewrite the Stars.
That's a great duet.
With Zendaya and Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And that's just because, like, in the... I don't know. I guess you could say, like, Free is a bit more... Like, Free's kind of the same lines where it's like, they're not supposed to be together, but they are, and against all odds kind of thing. But something about, like, Zendaya and Zac Efron, and then, like, the choreography of it's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is beautiful. But yeah, Free, I was just like, I don't... Like, you guys can keep that one. I'm good. I also just never really shipped Rumi and Jinu.
Yeah, that's fair.
So when they did that, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
These friends are really close, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
So, Free, yeah. But like I said, that's my cousin's favorite off the album. And I was like, that's wild. I'm good for you. Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna trash someone for the song they like, but that's just not it for me. Golden though, I feel like
love Golden.
I feel like
Golden is so good.
Everyone's favorite.
Also, that freaking music video is art. I don't think you even know the words.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's I was a ghost, I was alone.
Okay. What's the Korean?
I don't know.
Yeah. No, Golden's good. Yeah. Great movie, though.
Yeah. No notes, truly.
No, like, yeah.
Even though we just spent the last, like, what, half hour with notes? But no notes. Like, it's a phenomenal movie. 10 out of 10.
Is it winning Oscars?
Ooh.
Let's go.
I think...
Animated, foreign.
Is it foreign?
I'm guessing it's foreign.
I don't know that is it?
I'm guessing they're the people were... I don't know. Let's go animated, best original song, and I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, but we could throw it on Best Picture if you want.
Original song, I could see. I know they submitted Golden, and Golden's phenomenal.
I don't know. I mean, Golden dominated the charts.
Yeah.
This is the same year we have Wicked, right? Well, no, Wicked was last year.
No, but the part 2's coming out.
Wicked part 2, so they might have a banger on there.
But is that going to have would that be original song?
Yeah, I think it's like original to the movie, kind of. Yeah.
But like it's been a musical.
Right. I think it'd be original.
I don't know how that works, to be honest.
That's fair. There's kind of no rules with the Oscars. No, I think Golden's gonna snag it.
I hope so. Golden deserves it, I guess. Like,
do we think it takes Best Animated?
I think it also deserves that. If it's in that category, I think so. Because what other films we got this year?
Well, funny that you asked. I have a list right here.
Oh my gosh. I was looking over your shoulder, so I knew that you had the list.
No, I was trying to figure out because I was like, oh, what other animated movies have we had this year? Bad Guys 2, Colors Within, which kind of looks gorgeous.
Mm.
Oh, there's a Looney Tunes movie. Hang on.
Oh, wait.
What's up with all the religious ones? We're getting David, and then we had King of Kings earlier this year, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know about either of those.
Dogman.
Wow.
Elio is not winning. That one got dragged through the mud. People hated on this movie, dude. It was insane. In Your Dreams is the new Netflix one. That one, I don't know. I could also see Netflix not putting any of their other animateds up if they're putting K-pop up because they want K-pop to win. Yeah, here's King of Kings.
Oh, interesting. I mean, like, K-pop Demon Hunters took the literal world by storm.
It was huge. Mononoke had a movie this year.
Like, the amount of cosplays I've seen, the amount of people doing, like, the soda pop dance.
Yeah.
I've seen the golden dance from, like, a girl group in Spain.
Oh, is Zootopia 2 this year, though?
I think so.
Smurfs is getting a movie this year.
But, like, I tend to take the first of movies over, like, any sort of sequels.
Yeah, Zootopia
I love Zootopia.
Zootopia sequel's out this year.
I love Zootopia. However, I
don't know.
K-pop
Zootopia had hype, though. I could see it, if the sequel is good, I could see it passing K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just, like...
It's also hard when you don't have box office numbers, so, like, we don't know how K-pop Demon Hunters would have performed in the box office.
Yeah.
Zootopia 2 will release in theaters, probably, so we'll know, like, what their numbers look like.
Right.
With this one, we just have streaming numbers, and that's not always the most accurate.
Yeah.
Just, like, we watched K-pop Demon Hunters. We technically would be 2 tickets at the movie theater, but we were just one view here.
No, we were like 3.
True.
Maybe more, because you watched it a few times.
I did, when I was feeling sick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we have like 100 views in this household.
I feel like we'll see it snag a few. We'll see it at the Oscars for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think we see a live performance of Golden?
That would be interesting.
Because they do live performances sometimes, right?
I think so. Well, the Grammys typically
The Grammys do. It might clean up the Grammys a little bit.
Ooh, the Grammys could be interesting. Yeah, I know they brought in like actual K-pop artists to do the music. I think there was something interesting about Rumi's singing actress and her backstory. I can't quite recall what it is, but she wrote the music and she was Rumi's singing voice. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. The director seemed pretty down to earth. I've seen a few things about them, and their daughter actually voices Rumi's younger years.
They named the daughter after Rumi, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Because this has been their project for years. So phenomenal movie. Yeah. Highly recommend. You should watch it.
If you guys haven't watched it yet, definitely do. I think it's for everyone. I don't really think there's a if you don't like this kind like it, you'll like it. I think. If not, you'll like the music at least. So.
And if you don't, honestly, I think you should.
Your taste sucks.
Yeah, you should think about your life choices. I don't know.
Reevaluate. Sweet, yeah. Kpop Demon Hunters, go check it out.
Yeah.
Sweet we did it. We're back. It was an episode. There you go. Like we said at the top of the episode, we will try to do one next week. Megan's getting her wisdom teeth out, so we'll see if she's feeling up to it. But if not, definitely be on the lookout for an episode the following week because we're gonna do weekly episodes again. So
maybe I'll just have a yes/no board.
There you go.
Next week.
Yeah, I could just do all the talking.
And I can just grunt every now and again.
Gosh, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for sticking around for the ride.
We appreciate you.
Hopefully, we'll check you guys out next week. If not, then...
No, we want them to check us out next week.
Hopefully, you guys look at us next week. But we'll be looking at you.
Don't be weird.
The screen is 2 ways.
Oh, my gosh. We're done. We're done for the evening. It's getting late here, and Jeremiah needs to stop. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to comment, subscribe.